Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another edition of the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the marvelous one, back at it again with Don. What's good with you, Don, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm about to tell you why I'm mad, son. I'm about to tell you why I'm mad.
I'm going to just go on mute. I'm going to give you this moment.
So at 1600 military time, which goes down to 4 o'clock, they put Lamar on a non-exclusive tag, and this is where this is gives Lamar a chance to go out and shop himself. And I think it was like being an honest broker, but I think it's some laziness on the fact of the Ravens part because now they're saying, hey, you're not who you think you are when it comes down to the numbers. So if you find somebody, then you tell them come talk to us, and then we'll see the offer, and if we choose to match it, we match it. So let's go ahead and break it down to the problem. The problem is that look from ownership perspective, they trying to get Lamar to sign for some decent numbers. That's the problem. That's the problem statement. But Lamar is trying to say, all right, his camp is saying, hey, let's get our guaranteed money due to the demographics of what's transpiring between the other quarterbacks and the market that exists as it currently stands. We got quarterbacks that are getting their money. So we're saying, hey, listen here, we're not being messy. We're not being outlandish about, what we want. We're just saying on past performance and future predictions, here's what we are trying to say what we're worth. And right now, the desire then state basically, for the ownership is to get Lamar to sign for the deal that they want in order for them to make, key additional personnel added to the unit, and also make sure that they don't reset the market that the Cleveland Browns did with the guaranteed money, because they don't want to be the ownership that gets charged with that. They want to keep it, the focus on the Cleveland Browns. But Lamar saying, "Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I think that the market is going to reshape himself, and I think that I've earned between the MVP performance, the outstanding winning percentage, and also the the percentage of winning that exists when I'm not there. I think I've earned the fact that yes, I am a franchise quarterback, at least in the Ravens' eyes. And to me, this makes no sense, and here's why:
Mm,
2 draft picks. That's the most that you can get.
mhm.
And I'm saying to myself, okay, 2 draft picks. Does what Lamar Jackson is a future Lamar Jackson in the draft this year? The answer is no.
Nope. I mean,
Okay,
unless you want to count Anthony Richardson, but I doubt
no.
he's a Lamar Jackson.
That's a guess. That's a strong guess
Yeah.
because we've seen
But
mad athletes come
but
out.
not only that, I mean, his production in college says that he's not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson won the Heisman Trophy.
See, David, I'm glad you pointed out these facts. So in the next 2 years, I do not see Lamar Jackson in the draft. Okay, now let's go ahead and break it down. Is there someone in the league right now that outperforms Lamar? The answer is yes. I'm just the voice of reason, but it's only like 5 that can
Hmm.
go toe to toe with Lamar. And
And they got their
how many
deals.
teams? Yeah. And I'm about to say they already accounted for it. They got wedding rings on their finger. And if not, they got they got a glorified promise ring on the way. You know what I'm saying? So
They-
their
they-
ownership is gonna lock them up.
yeah, yeah. They better put a ring on it.
Yes. So Baltimore Ravens, what are you doing? And right now, let's go ahead and break it down to the facts. This is not about football.
Mm,
Not even in the clearest form is it about football. It's about worker versus boss. And
yep.
right now, I think the ownership is trying to say, hey, listen here, we kind of trying to give you a teachable moment. We didn't like the way that you closed out the year. I felt that you could have played hurt.
No.
And everybody at the end of the season has nicks and bumps.
See, you're calling it a teachable moment. I call it a putting them in his place moment.
Yes, yes, yes,
They
yes,
put the
yes.
players in their place because
Put the players, yes.
the Cleveland went out on that limb and gave a fully guaranteed contract of $230 million, and they're letting the rest of the players know that's not going to happen again. And I believe the owners have colluded, and they're going to Lamar's not going to get any offers. He's not going
Hmm.
to get any offers at that rate.
Okay, so let's pull the string with collusion because I was talking to one of my buddies, and he's the one that said, hey, ownership is teaching them It's a teachable moment. This is your boss versus you,
Hmm.
and I said, okay, got it. I said, but collusion cannot be proved. But he
Right.
said to me, Clarence said, hey, it's an unwritten rule. And the example that he gave me was that your ex-girlfriend. It's understood that hey, I got an ex-girlfriend. Me and her, we on the outs right now. But guess what? Nobody is to date her.
Mm.
And she might come around and she might hit on you, but nobody's supposed to date her.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's been going on for years. And I think the Browns crossed that line.
Yep. They
They
sure did.
crossed that line. They crossed that line, and now the ownership saying we need to reestablish that line because ex-girlfriends don't get treated like queens.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. But here's the part that I think people are missing. Because right now they think the Baltimore Ravens have the leverage, and I'm like, yes and no.
Mm.
They had to put a tag on them. It didn't matter what tag they put
Yeah, it
on
didn't
it.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah, a tag is ugly. A tag means we still don't agree.
But the tag gives you more time. So they still got time to do right by Lamar. It gives them till I think it's June 17th
Mhm.
to continue to work out a deal.
But here, hold on. It gets a little bit better. So people saying collusion because the minute that they put the franchise tag on it, you had a whole bunch of owners saying, "Hey, we're not in the Lamar deal." And I'm
Right.
like, you can't say that you are because that's tampering.
Right.
You can't talk to Lamar until next week.
Right. Right.
Next Tuesday, you can start talking to Lamar. So if you say, "Yeah, I want Lamar," that's tampering. But next
Mm.
week, I'll start to see. But here's the part where the leverage gets real tricky. Lamar's supposed to go out there and find some deals, and there's going to be people that's going to call him. Now, people are always saying Lamar is messing up because he doesn't have an agent, and I'm like, yeah and no. He has a team. He has a camp of people.
Right.
He does not have a person that has prior relationships. And here's my thing with the agent: the agent doesn't always have good relationships with ownership.
Right. Right.
That's why they get fired.
Right.
Because guess what? Some of them are in the bid with ownership.
Some of them have ownerships that they don't like and won't work with and won't give their client an opportunity with.
No, because you saying they burnt me on another deal.
Yep.
So now I'm supposed to pay because of a player's past history.
Yeah.
So
Of
your
something
history is not
personal.
my history. That's
Yeah.
personal. And that's what you can't account. That's a wild card that players can never account for. But it exists
But
because they talk to each other.
but think about this. I mean, like, why do you need an agent anyway? Because now everything is based off of what the market is. Like, there's no deals like back in the 90s where they were making deals out on the golf course and just running numbers. I remember when Master P was Ricky Williams' agent, and he made this ridiculous deal with Tom Benson on the golf course,
Mhm.
and it was incentively heavy to the point where Ricky got nothing
Yes.
during his time with the Saints because he couldn't hit any of those incentives. Now, granted, if he had hit those incentives like Walter Payton rushing title or Emmitt Smith rushing numbers, yeah, he would have got paid a hell of a lot of money. But that was nearly impossible for somebody like of his stature to get to.
See, and that's the part that a lot of people are just missing out on. I'm glad you brought that out. Is that you can have they're good agents, but they're also bad agents,
They are
and they're
terrible agents.
agent with histories, good history and bad history. Guess what? The team that I have has zero history with the other owners.
Mm,
So I know where we're going. We're going from scratches. We're going from zero, which is always good. It's not bad.
hmm.
It's not bad. And then here's the funny part. Everybody forgets you're talking a billionaire game, and everybody saying, "Well, you're scared to deal with billionaires." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "But let me tell you something. The billionaire game, you cannot underestimate your opponent. And Lamar has a pretty good camp with him. Pretty good camp of lawyers. And I got it. His mother and him are the head of the monster. But you don't think that he's not getting private consulting, not only from a bunch of lawyers and image consultants, but also for the players union.
Right.
They have a heavy stake in this too,
Yep. Yep.
because this is the one time that they have someone good standing, good in the communities, not doing nothing crazy or wild as far as public,
Great resume. He's
image.
got an MVP,
Yes.
2019 AP NFL Most Valuable Player. Come
Winning
on, man.
percentage, 75%.
75% win percentage. Yeah, man. I mean,
And they 2-8. They 2-8 when he's not there.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I just think the Ravens are playing with fire here. I mean, even though I mean they put the non-exclusive tag on him on Tuesday. They have until July 17th to work out a deal. It pays him 32 million. I don't think he's going to sign this, but
No,
I guess the good point is it gives him to July 17th to work out a deal.
no, 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 no. It goes worse than that, Marv. So here's the thing. If I'm Lamar's camp, so everybody's saying, well, just like you can't prove collusion, guess what you can't prove? You can't prove that Lamar was well enough to play during that playoff game. Okay,
Right.
let's pull that. So let's pull that thread for a second. So just like I can't prove collusion, I mean, you can't prove that I was not well enough to play the game. We both have our opinions, and we can't prove them. We feel strong about our opinions. Okay, so let's look at it from a leverage point. If I'm Lamar, if I'm Baltimore Ravens, I want Lamar to find somebody to give me a deal or give him a deal so I can look at it before the draft so
Hmm.
I know how to move forward with my draft. That's the one amateur mistake that the Ravens did. They said that we have multiple courses of action. You never say that. If anything, you should have said, "Hey, we're going to figure this out with Lamar."
Hmm.
Behind
Right.
what you do behind the scenes is what you do behind the scenes. That's mistake number one. Because here's the thing: if I'm Lamar, I'm not finding a deal until after the draft because I want the Ravens to show me your hand.
Mm.
Who
That's
you
true.
draft, who you draft is going to show me.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Do you really believe that we can
Right.
work out a deal?
Yeah, because I mean they got to make a decision by April, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
lose those first round draft picks if you do trade him.
God, man.
Yeah, yeah. So and then
Leverage
if you got to pay if you got to bring in a quarterback to replace Lamar Jackson, well, hell,
uh
you got to make that decision in April. So you're gonna show your hand that you're not going after a quarterback. You're gonna
early,
lose the draft picks, and
early.
so now leverage shifts to Lamar. So yeah, I get you on that. So hey,
And the
man, this might be a good play by Lamar. They're like, okay,
I
yeah,
know
tag me.
people not looking at the whole chessboard all the way through, but
Yeah,
they allow me to elaborate. So now Lamar waits till after the draft, and guess what else he does? I'm not even going to show up to
right. He
camp.
doesn't have to sign it.
I don't have to sign it. And a matter of fact, I think he got to like the 10th or maybe the ninth week of regular season to decide whether he's going to play on that contract.
Yep.
He doesn't
Yep.
have to sign it.
He doesn't have to sign it. He can
So if
go to
he's not
Cancun.
signed it, I'm not playing on it. And guess what's going to happen during the regular season? Somebody's going to stink it up.
Yep.
It's good. I don't make names. It's only five. It's only five quarterbacks that's gonna go out there and put out a performance day after day after day that's gonna outperform Lamar. And Lamar has been cooking with he learned how to cook what he had in the kitchen. It ain't like you. It ain't like you went out there because everybody said, "Well, Flacco. Flacco had good court. He had good wide receivers, and
Mm.
he had a good tight end, and he had a running game." So those are the things that I see. But there's gonna be more to follow as we try to move forward. But that's my viewpoint on it. I think Lamar's gonna wait, and I think somebody's gonna stink it up. And I think from that point, you're gonna find another version of Cleveland. Because guess the name of the game is not to find a whole bunch of people that want to pay you your money. You only got to find one.
One. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we will see. I mean, as the saga continues with the Ravens and Lamar, like I told you before, I wanted my team to go after. I would love to have Lamar in New Orleans, but hey, we got a quarterback now. We signed Derek Carr. I mean, the Saints were after him as soon as the Raiders made him available, right? Even before they released him, the Saints were on top of it, made an offer to the Raiders. Derek Carr invoked his no trade clause and forced the Raiders to release him. And the Saints were courting him, the Jets were courting him, and the Panthers were courting him. But the Saints made it known that they wanted him, that they loved him, and they put their arms around him and they
They
showed him love.
treated
They
they
treated
treated him like he was the main attraction,
the
and
main
the
attraction.
Jets
They
treated
had,
him like he was the backup dancers.
yeah, exactly. He was the backup dancer too, because their eye is on Rodgers, and they made it known to him. And then you read some of these reports. Carr wanted to go to the Jets. He didn't want to go to New Orleans, but The Saints showed him love, and I give Dennis Allen that. Even though I think he's a bad coach, I give him credit for that because he knew in order to make this happen, he had to show this guy some love, and he did. And so we got him. And now, when I first heard the deal, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like it. 4 years, 150 million, 100 million of it guaranteed for Derek Carr,
Ooh,
a 9-year vet that hadn't won anything, really. And then when you look at the details of this deal, right? You're talking about 60 million of it is fully guaranteed at signing. Then another 10 million guaranteed in year 3. So the Saints have given themselves an out after 2 years. So if this dude stinks it up after 2 years, they're giving themselves an out and they would only lose 60 million in those first 2 years.
they're not
So,
they're not losing because who are the quarterbacks who's the quarterbacks that he's competing against?
well, we don't know who they are. We don't know who they are because I still think the Panthers might get Jimmy G. The Panthers or the Bucks might get Jimmy G. They're definitely not going. The Panthers aren't going into the season with a rookie, and I don't see the Bucks going into the season with Trask as their starting quarterback. So they're probably going to bring in Jimmy G or somebody like that. But they've given themselves an out because if Dude can't win in this division with these no name quarterbacks that you just mentioned, then there's a problem for Derek Carr. This
And the
might end
weapon
his
and the
career.
defense that you have.
And the weapons and the defense that we have, there's a problem. But well, we just seen two quarterbacks that couldn't win with the weapons and the defense that we had. So if he can't do it, he's in the same bag with those clowns. So he's got 2 years to figure it out, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. This is a deal that I'm okay with. I couldn't stomach 4 years, 150 million, and we locked into him. But I can stomach this, and if he can't figure it out in 2 years, then be gone. So I'm okay with this. I didn't like the fact that he's a 9-year vet, never won anything, but I'm okay with the deal because this is a prove it deal. And so Derek Carr, I'm watching, but I'm watching with concern and I'm watching hopeful that you could be the man. So with that in mind, let's look at the other free agent signings and uh tag designation. So the big one is
Start with the Giants,
that's what
man.
I was gonna say. The big one is with the Giants, right? So Daniel Jones, not just a franchise tag, Daniel Jones actually signed a deal, 4 years, 160 million, 35 million in incentives, an additional 35 million in incentives. So this kid can make up to 195 million. So I like that. That's another prove it deal, and that's a young player that's been in the league 5 years. So that's that could be a higher ceiling. We only seen 5 years of him. He played well in his last year with the new coach, so that says a lot. I'm willing to take that type of chance on a young player, right? So they got their quarterback.
But he
They
gambled and is he but he gambled and gambled big because remember, I don't think he would have got that deal if he'd have stuck with that the agent that he had before because he fired him like
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that's true.
midst of it.
That's true. But I'm thinking if he wouldn't have got that deal if he had signed that 5th year option, right? The Giants didn't offer him the 5th year option,
Ooh. So
so
once
that
again,
helped him out.
ownership playing that quarterback monopoly
Yep. And
and
that
they're
was foolish.
abusing.
Yep.
Foolish, man.
That
They
was
could have
foolish on
locked
the
him up
Giants.
early,
They could have
early.
locked him up early for a lot cheaper. And now he gets you in the second round of the playoffs. Now you got to pay almost 200 million for him.
Wow.
So wow. So and what that forces you to do now, you got to put the non-exclusive franchise tag on Saquon Barkley, right? When you
Yeah.
could have had
You could
Daniel
have
Jones
saved that.
locked up, you could have saved that. You could have gave the big deal to Saquon Barkley your workhorse. So now the Giants have kind of put themselves in a box here. But like I told y'all last week, you got enough money. You can put money on Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. You can sign both of them. I don't understand why this is a problem. Sign them. Give the man his money. What, 50 million a year for Saquon Barkley? He's proved that.
Yeah,
Give the
but
man
they,
his money.
but they showing that running backs a dime a dozen. You got workhorses coming out of college,
That's
and
true.
if you design the blocking scheme, you can find them.
But Don, just like you said, there's no other Lamar Jackson out there. There's no other Saquon Barkley. I can
That's a
promise you that.
fact.
That's a fact. I don't care how you look at it. There's no other Saquon Barkley, and he's at the right age. I would say he's 25, 26. No, he's 26. 5 years experience. You got another 3, 4 years out of him until you reach 30. Then you get rid of him. But he's at the prime age to break out at 26.
But that means they're
This
gonna have to franchise him again next year too.
They might have to, but give him a deal. Give him the 15 million now for 4 years. It gets him up to when he's 30, 29, 30 years old. You know that's when running backs fall apart,
Hmm.
and you've gotten the most out of him. Get
Yeah,
him in his prime years. This is his prime years. This is when he's going to break out. You better lock him up now before it's too late.
yeah. Let him move on to another team and be a backup, and you probably can acquire some pieces
Uh,
for him.
like back in the days, what they used to do when you got to 30, they make you a third down back. Whatever
Yeah,
happened to the
there it
third
is.
down back? Yeah,
Ain't enough roster spots now.
yeah, right. Enough roster spots for the third down back where you only came in on third down.
Because that
Yeah,
third down back is now you can get him younger, and guess what? He's playing special teams too, so he's dual headed.
yeah. Well, sticking to the NFC East, Tony Pollard also got the non-exclusive franchise tag. I kind of predicted that. I figured, I mean, they're not gonna let
Mm.
this dude go. So, but I think he's gonna stay on that tag. They can't give him a deal until Zeke is
Till
gone.
Zeke is gone. He's locked in.
He's locked in. So once Zeke is gone, Tony will probably get Zeke's contract or
Yes, he
or,
will.
or the money or the dollars per year that Zeke got because I don't think they want to tie up that much money into the one position of running
Yes.
back.
And then Dallas has shown that they are willing to pay for top tier performers,
Yeah,
even paying you for past performance. They
yeah,
reward you
they
for
reward you.
for putting them hot butts in that seat.
Yeah. I mean, remember when they put a lot of money into their offensive line and all them dudes were hurt. They
Yeah.
had so much money tied into those guys, and those guys got hurt. So they're willing to pay their players. That's one thing I can respect about the Cowboys. They're willing to pay their players, but they're not good at evaluating them because
Nah,
they
nah.
struggle to get out the first round of the playoffs. But
Yes, they do.
yeah, yeah. On a lower note, Deron Payne of the Washington Commanders also got on a non-exclusive franchise tag. That's that stud defensive lineman that they have. Nobody really knows about him. Um, and that's really about it. I mean, there's some smaller re-signings. Oh, how can we forget my man Gino? Gino got paid 3 years, $75
Yes, he
million
did.
deal, and it can max out at 105 million with 40 million of it fully guaranteed. Good for
And I,
you, Gino.
and not only that, I want to see what they do in the draft
Yeah,
because they draft well. They draft well. So I don't know if they're going to try. I mean, can they move up or can they see something in somebody young and see if they can grab someone and start grooming them? I don't know, but this is the time to actually start looking to see if you can steal something or you can beef up that defense or give them some weapons.
right. I think they set a receiver. They got a good running back, right? So they set at those positions. Like you said, they probably need to build up that offensive line, get some strong defensive players, whether that's through the draft or through free agency. And I think the Seahawks could really make some noise next year.
It's going to be interesting
It's gonna be
because Gino performed well,
he did.
solid.
He did. And for a 10-year vet that never won anything, got a second chance at it, and he proved it. Man, I give him credit for that. I'm hoping for something like that with Derek Carr. I doubt it, but I'm hoping for something like that with Derek Carr. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because yeah, no, but I think Gino, you know, most of those 10 years that he's been in the league, most of them have been a backup. He got his chance with the Jets, and I think maybe got 3 or 4 years as a starter. But thereafter, he didn't get much of a chance, so he didn't get a chance to really prove himself. And I'm glad the Seahawks went ahead and gave him that chance. I should be thanking Russell Wilson for giving him that chance, getting that Walmart money in Denver.
Ooh. Hey, and guess what? I'm so mad at him because he was supposed to be the first one to actually set the market, and he
Mm,
didn't.
he
Because
didn't.
right now he is not playing up to that contract.
Yeah, that was foolish. That was foolish. But hey, let's talk about this, man. What happens? Let's back up. So the Jets, Robert Sala, uh, Hackett, and Woody Johnson went to California to see Aaron Rodgers, man. This is happening. They
Oh,
are in love with Aaron Rodgers. They turned their back on Derek Carr. Derek Carr came to visit. They was like,
Mm.
yeah, Derek, just hang tight. Let us find out what's going to happen with Aaron. they
So
got
is that
they got a
that
franchise
move?
tag on Lamar. They like,
Woo.
yeah, well, we'll think about that. But they want Aaron, dude. It's crazy.
But here's the thing. That's the gift and the curse because if I'm looking at it, and I got a lot of friends that are Jets fans, because
Mm,
they're saying we gotta do something because right now the Giants they made a move, and guess what? We are not gonna be the New York Mets of New York. We're
mm,
gonna be the Yankees. So we need to do we need to do a big move. So that's gonna either be, moving on to the new version of Brett Favre, which is Aaron Rodgers, and
mm,
hopefully that can restart his career and they can move to the playoffs. But here's the thing. How much is too much?
mm.
Because if they ask for two first round draft picks, now you gotta ask yourself, if I gotta pay him that money and two first round draft picks,
But see, that's the thing about it.
should I go after Lamar?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna cost them two first round draft. I don't even think it's gonna cost them a first round draft pick. What I've been reading and what I've been hearing, and I mean when I'm talking about when I've been reading and hearing, I'm talking about ESPN. I'm talking
No
about
doubt, no doubt.
I'm talking about that type of stuff. Ian Rappaport and all these guys out here that got the inside knowledge on it. They're basically saying that the, the Packers are ready to move on. This is Love's team. They're ready to move on from Rodgers and give this team the love. And right now, they're just waiting to hear word from, because right now, Aaron Rodgers has no trade clause, so he can ask any trade, regardless of what it's for. He can
Hmm.
ask it.
So,
So they're waiting on his decision, but they're ready to move on, and I'm sure they would take like a
but it's
third or
big.
fourth round pick for him.
No, it's also how much of that salary is Green Bay going to eat or
None of it. They're gonna
huh?
make the Jets take that entire salary, dude. No way. No way the Packers gonna keep any of that salary. They're gonna trade him. That's
More
why
to follow.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they were willing to take a lower draft pick just so the Jets could take that salary and just so they can save
That
money on
count against your
Love.
cap numbers.
But they're gonna save with Love with the lower salary.
No, that counts against the Jets. The Jets is not going to eat that.
I promise you, the Jets can because they got all their stars are rookies. And then they got a quarterback. They're going to keep Zach Wilson. I even read this that they're keeping Zach Wilson to learn for Rodgers. And
To learn
Zach,
from Rodgers, He didn't teach Love.
uh,
Listen, he
I'm,
teaches no one nothing.
I didn't say he was going to teach him. I just said he's supposed to learn. I said nothing about Rodgers teaching. He gonna
Aaron,
sit. He
Aaron
gonna
didn't
sit
even
and
want to work
watch.
out with the receivers that he had in Green Bay.
I'm just telling you, they're talking about they want Zach Wilson to sit and watch this cat, and which I think is a smart move. You can't just throw Zach Wilson away. I think you gotta give this kid time and
He
let
a
him
first
watch and
rounder.
hopefully get back. You got too much invested in him to get rid of him, even though he played like crap. You really got it. You got to wait that time and hopefully it'll pay off. And right now, while everybody's on rookie salaries, you're gonna get this high price quarterback that's gonna come in with 60 million a year. You give him 2 years to figure it out and let him retire, but give your backup quarterback Zach Wilson, your high draft which that you invested a lot in, an opportunity to learn from a veteran star. So an elite veteran star
Oh, no
quarterback.
doubt. And if he comes on that team, they are automatically a playoff
Oh, absolutely.
team. But here's the funny part. He's still
Huh.
not going to be the best quarterback. And he's going to have to come over there. He's going to have to put up hey, in this conference, oh, he's not the best
But the
quarterback.
conference in the division, he's not the best quarterback. That's Josh Allen, baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So now he got to come over here. He got to fight for his respectability.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, it's like the NFL offseason is just as good as the NFL season. So it's going to heat up even more, right? Because now we're watching the combine and getting
Yes,
ready for the draft. And so what do you think about the
man.
combines right now? I mean, Anthony Richardson lit it up, right?
He put up God like Zeus numbers, man. That
He's
dude, that dude, man. They asked that guy like, "Who are you?" I mean, the way that kid flying down there, his vertical. I mean, one of the top performances.
ever.
I mean, for a quarterback
Yeah.
to do what he did,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Pure phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. A
Phenomenal.
4.4 and a 40-yard dash for a
Yeah,
quarterback.
4.43.
4.43. Hey, man.
And, and
4.4.
and 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 that's back when Robert Griffin, he was pushing no 4.41.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Rob did track.
Yeah, I know.
So that's one of the top performances of all time. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I said, you
Yeah.
gotta be kidding me. But the results that he had for the quarterbacks, man. I mean, I was actually impressed. I mean, he was top amongst the quarterbacks. Also, his vertical, I think he was tops amongst the
Oh
quarterbacks
yeah,
with
he
that.
was.
I mean,
Yeah.
he put up monster numbers with that. He did a 40.5. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
the things that he's doing, and the
But
way that the ball jumped out his hand.
but that's all-time best for quarterbacks ever. 40.5 inches in vertical. He's the best of ever any quarterback. Yeah. Yeah.
His bounce off the ground is truly remarkable.
Yeah, he's truly remarkable. So I mean, this is a phenomenal athlete, but still raw in a project because it didn't pan out in Florida. So it's a matter of getting to the right team, having
Hmm.
time to develop, and getting them out there and utilizing those skill sets.
And now you got to ask yourself one of the magical questions is where does he place in that draft? Because that's
Oh,
going to be interesting
he's a
because
first round draft pick now.
he moved up. He
Oh yeah,
moved up right now. Before he was ranked in, bottom like 18, 19,
yeah,
maybe second round. He's actually moved up. They got him projected as the 19th,
yeah. I can see it.
in the first round. I'm like, man,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is a huge jump in position due to the fact that he put up godlike Zeus numbers, you know. During that combine, and it cannot be argued because they say men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
Right,
And them
right, right,
numbers did not lie when he was popping around in that screen.
right. And it's just he has increased his draft position and the salary that he's going to get. So we will see what happens with this kid. I mean
He's
that
sitting
that
at
was impressive.
he's sitting at 6'4", 234.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean
I mean he got the right
that's a
size,
big body.
big body. He's got a strong arm. He runs a 4.4. I mean, there's so many things you can do with a quarterback like this.
He said he Cam Jackson.
So this kid, man, I'm impressed. Was there anybody else that impressed you doing the combine?
Yes, and we're gonna jump down to the tight ends because that kid from the tight end from Washington, not Washington, from Georgia, what's his name? Darnell Washington.
Mm,
Woo! Man, the way he hit that sled, it was unbelievable. And also his vertical, and then yeah, I mean his catch radius. You can
oh,
look at
really?
his man, the way that he snatched the ball when he was going to do on the drills. I was like, his catch, and that's where I tell people, I said, it's one thing to create separation, and there's another thing to have the catch radius, could have them long arms and things of that nature. Now you're looking at those tight, hey, third and three, third and four. I need somebody big to go across the middle, and I ain't gotta put the ball on his body. He just
Yeah.
has a catch radius.
Well, yeah. I mean, at 6'7", 264 and run a 4.6, yo. That's that's gonna be really, really hard to stop, yo. So, I mean, where's this guy placed in the draft, man? What did they have him going? Because wherever wherever he goes, he's gonna be trouble. I
Oh
don't want him
man.
in my division.
So that's the question because right now there's not very high demands,
Mm,
and I think that is going to be best available
mm.
because that's where we're pushing at as far as the draft is, and there going to be a lot of surprises on draft day because right now they talking about Bryce Young and all that other stuff, but I'm saying to myself, who's best available at the time, especially we talk about 1 through 10
Mm.
and 1 through 15 because your old coach has said that, hey.
Yeah,
First round picks, you do not have chance to be
right.
playing
That's what
like
I'm saying.
Monopoly.
You can't, and that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's best available. Well, not just best available, but you got to figure out what your needs are. You got to address those needs. You got to address them in the right draft spot too. You know what I mean? So it depends on what the need is, man. I know for my team, tight end is a need. We have a need.
Mm,
Remember we try to we try to convert a quarterback to a tight end, which was dumb, and it set us
hmm
back as far as our tight ends. So this guy would be a great addition, especially to help Carr out, to give him a big target, somewhere he cannot miss. Come on.
Man. So where y'all at on the draft board then?
Oh shoot, man. Is it 29th? I forget what it
29.
was. I think it's
Yeah.
29th.
No, y'all 30th.
30th. No, we got to
Mm.
be higher than 30th, right?
No, y'all 30th because 29 is Cincinnati. Cause y'all got that pick from San Fran.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
yeah,
because y'all gave y'all pick to Philadelphia, number 10.
yeah, man.
The
Dumb.
rich keep getting richer.
Yeah, just dumb. But
You-
no, no, no. So yeah, we got our draft pick from the Broncos, which came from the Dolphins, which I think came from San Francisco. So
yeah, that's 30th.
yeah, so okay, it's
And that's
30th.
first round. Yeah, that's just the
Yeah,
first
first
round.
round. So we back in the first round, so we can get a player to help us. But we our needs are tight end, running back, defensive tackle. So we got some needs. So good thing quarterback is no longer a need. So because
Which
that
is
was going
gonna
to be
be big.
impossible. That was going to be big. I mean, we'd probably have to wind up with Anthony Richardson and start him. So yeah, now we don't have to do that and put that kid out there and ruin him.
Yes. Cause a lot of teams will do it. They will do it early and often. But
Yeah.
also, they had they had some pretty good wideouts that showed up on
Okay.
draft day. You know, as far as overall participation and also overall results. I think that a lot of people are looking for the big. It's not so much as how fast you run because we got a lot of wideouts that's going to put up good numbers as far as 40-yard dashes and things of that nature. But it's not just about creating separation. It's also about technique and also catch radius. So I
Mm.
watched a lot of those, and they was talking about what's the kid's name? I can't. Uh, what is it? Zay Flowers from Boston College. They said
Mm-hmm.
he
Mm-hmm.
he was pretty big, and also you're looking at Jacob Copeland from University of Maryland. Now Maryland had a lot of people that was actually showing up and did pretty good 40 times in the top 10 and things of that nature. But the fastest guy there was Trey Palmer. He went
Yeah,
four
four
four three
three.
three.
Yeah, kid from Nebraska.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Nebraska, he was flying down that lane. But at the same time, when you just pull him up on the screen and you look at him as the numbers. He's not. He's just six even, but he 109, 192.
Yeah.
So he's not that tall, and his catch radius is not that long either. So
Mm.
those are the things that they looking at as far as okay, you're looking at your split time and all that, but your catch radius, he didn't wow me as far as you know, footwork and things of that nature. But it's gonna be more to more to look at as far as the film. But I think he'll probably be a steal if you can catch him in the later rounds. I don't think he's be in the first round. I just don't see him being a first round projection.
That's okay, but you can do something with that speed. You can put him on the team and do something with that speed, man.
Special teams.
Especially, no, I'm talking about jet sweep,
Yeah,
screen, bubble screens. Yeah, you can make some use of that. So it'd
but
be
they, but
interesting to
the,
see
but
where he winds up.
these defensive ends is some of the fastest out there. They had the
Yeah.
kid what's his name, Will Anderson from Alabama. Man.
Mm.
Oh man, the numbers that he put up was totally remarkable, man. And like I said before, you got guys like that just flying down the line like it's just no problem.
Well,
And
yeah,
and that's the thing that when you're trying
but
to set the edge and things of that nature, it's like how
but
do you
check this
use
out.
that?
But check this out. Noah Smith ran a
4-3
4.3.
none.
That is outstanding for a defensive end. That is crazy fast for a defensive end coming off the edge, yo. Yo,
And,
that
and-
might
and-
be your number one overall pick.
oh,
Like,
no doubt.
if I'm the Bears, I'm reconsidering trading that first pick.
6'2" and what, 230,
Yeah.
238?
Why
No.
not use it to get this kid opposed to trading it away to get more picks? This
No,
this
I think
this might be
because
a Hall of Famer that's sitting right there in
yes,
front of your
but
face.
they're so bad. They're not just bad at one position. They're bad at multiple positions,
What
and that's the reason that you have to do what you have to do.
but I mean, I get you. I get you.
Because
But
look, you got one,
this
two,
could be a
three,
one in a
four,
generational
five,
player.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Look,
10.
look. Look, I remember.
But you got Will. He's pulling out. I mean, he's running. He's not as fast, but the power that he pushes out is truly remarkable. And they got Will being, the number one,
But hear me out, man.
and they got Norris being the
I
number
thought
five as
I
far as
thought Mike Tomlin
defensive
said it
ends.
best. Mike
Yes,
Tomlin said it best when he looked at Chase
height,
Young.
speed.
When he said Chase Young, he said, "You know how many games I got to lose to get a player like you?" And the Bears in a situation where you've already lost those many games to get a player like that. This is your opportunity. Get him. Get
But
him
I think,
and draft better in your second, third, and fourth rounds. You know,
but he, but that speed that Smith displayed, he's not the number one. Anderson is from
mm,
Alabama. He's the number one.
he's that's right. That's right. That's right.
He's the
That's right.
top. Yes.
So
He's the
you could
number
probably
five on
get
the
Noah
list. Two,
Smith.
four,
You could
yeah,
probably
six.
trade that. Where's Noah
That you could
Smith?
trade back.
You could trade back. Where's Noah Smith projected to go? Because I thought it was him that was number one. You're right.
Uh,
It's Anderson.
yeah, he's projected as a probably a 36 pick.
Yeah. Well, see.
But he's number five. He's number six out of the defensive ends. That's where he's ranked in the
Yeah.
top
Well,
six.
so you can probably get him in the second round.
That's why I said you pull
Yeah.
back and
Pull
you get
back.
more picks.
Yeah.
And,
No,
and
there you're
that's a
right.
guy. That's a guy that jumps off the screen, just like he jumped off the screen to you. He's gonna jump off the screen, and they be like, okay, he's still there, and that's why I said
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
player available.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I was thinking of Will Anderson, who's probably a once in a generational player at that number one spot.
Yes.
So, but I mean, like you said, I think you can get a kid that's jumping off the page that played at
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, so you know he's played against top tier talent. You can see him
NFL
running, and
at practice.
at practice running 4.3. So that might be a sleeper in this draft. You could probably trade back, get more picks, still get him
hmm
and get some other needs and build that Chicago team. So I think you and I we both agree trading back is probably the best approach for the Chicago Bears right now with that
I'm
number
glad
one
you
overall
said
pick.
that. So where do you so looking at the draft staff and you got Chicago being number one, then you got Houston, Arizona, but I got Chicago trading, but who has a bigger need for quarterback? Because they're saying that Indianapolis, they also
Carolina.
look at Carolina,
Mhm.
and it may sound crazy. Atlanta, I'm not sold on them as being
I'm not sold on
Tennessee.
Desmond Ritter. I'm not sold.
Tennessee, I'm not sold on them.
Oh
If you
yeah,
yeah.
Malik Willis might be a bust, but I mean I think you still got to give that kid more time. I always say you got to give a rookie quarterback 3 years. So I think Malik Willis is probably gonna get another opportunity to prove himself because he got replaced by a dude that was off the streets.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now Chicago trades back, and now they trade back again to get multiple picks. I think they can get move back late in the first round and get multiple second round picks
Mm-hmm. I
and
agree.
third.
I agree.
And then from there they can build a team and get the weapons that he's actually going to need in order to be a successful quarterback. Because I do think that Fields is a nice quarterback. I think he needs to get out of it. He needs to use the weapon that he has, the most important weapon that he has to his arsenal, and that's the weather.
Mm.
Chicago is going to get cold.
Yep.
So learn how to play in the cold.
Yeah. And the fact that he's a running quarterback, he can run. That's to his advantage because playing in the cold, you're not gonna get very many opportunities to throw the ball during those really cold days. All right, well let's move on, man. Let's move on to the NBA. What you see going on in the NBA, man? I like these the top teams in each conference, even though I think Boston is kind of laying off a little bit. They're on a little bit of a losing streak here, 3 games, and Milwaukee's making a bit of a surge.
Yeah, man. I think so Boston is playing a dangerous game right now. They're playing that game that also Milwaukee played. They doing that what you call load management, resting players and things of that nature, which is a dangerous term right now
Yeah.
because guess what? Milwaukee, Boston, game seven, and guess where they played that game? They played that
Boston.
game in Boston.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling you that crowd on your side, because the
Oh yeah.
crowd is
It's
not,
different.
listen, the crowd is not for the starters. Guess who the crowd is for? The bench players.
Bench players.
The
Yeah.
bench players play good at home.
Yes, they do. Yeah, you are so right. The data shows it. The bench players play their best game at home.
They
So,
play better at home. So
uh,
now I think Boston need to turn it up and also I can't say enough about Embiid.
oh yeah, yeah,
Monster numbers.
yeah, yeah,
Monster numbers. Shoot the three. Mid range is impeccable. And crossover and will go to the hoop.
yeah. But come on, man. You got to give some credit to Cleveland and the Cavs and the Knicks.
Hey.
The
So
Knicks are 9-1 in the last 10 games.
man, Stephen A popping off the screen going
Yeah,
crazy.
he
He
probably
going
losing.
crazy, man. He
Yeah.
going crazy. But the thing about it is, I like Cleveland because they're a solid nucleus and
Hmm.
they are deep and they're
Yeah.
young.
And they got a superstar.
Yes, star power.
Star power. They got somebody that can carry the team. When you not playing well, when your role players aren't playing well, you
And
can, hey,
once,
Donovan, make it happen.
and I want that responsibility.
Yeah. And you drop 71. Y'all don't want it? I'll take it. 71.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, but I'm madly disappointed in Miami. I would have expected them to be
Yeah.
stronger, but I'm itching to see if the Love acquisition is going to pay off. I thought Love was going to go somewhere where as though he can make a direct impact. Him going to Miami, I still think they haven't figured it out how to add him to the
I told
mixture.
you, man. He's done.
Man,
He's done. He's done, man. Love out there with gray hair and everything, man. Looking like an old man, man. Love is done.
man. So I think it's the top three or top four. You're looking at them,
Yeah.
and I think they're doing pretty good. And I like the back and forthness between, New York right now. I mean, Brooklyn and gave all them picks away and traded them assets, and they still trying to, fight away and try and find some respectability. But I think New York is actually in the top five, got the
Yep.
fans on their side.
Yep.
But I think Cleveland is the sleeper because nobody knows what you're gonna get from them, but they know one thing: you're gonna fight.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting in the Eastern Conference. I think these teams are closer than what you think they are. Even though Milwaukee and Boston and Philadelphia are like, you know, not well ahead, but quite a bit ahead here. I think these teams are close. So we'll see how it shakes out. Now on to the Western Conference, where it's kind of opening up, right? The Nuggets like got an 8-game lead over the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings are the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. What a surprise. The Sacramento Kings. I know you
Mike,
don't
Mike
believe they're
Brown,
contenders. I know
Mike
you don't
Brown,
believe it. But
Mike,
Mike
Mike,
Brown,
Mike Brown.
Mike
He
Brown,
he's hey, who? Mike Brown. Who?
who? Mike Brown.
Because he has winning pedigree, and I think
Yeah,
Fox, his driver's license, it's a bonus. He's just
sir.
nasty. He's
Always speed.
nasty.
Yeah, no, but I mean, and it has happened at a good time for them, right? They won 7 out of the last 10 games, and then the Grizzlies are falling apart. John Morant, man, what you think about that situation, man, being suspended?
Fake thugs, we all need hugs. I mean, let's stop it, man. I keep telling people, man. You got thugs that you got thugs and hustlers that don't want to be thugs and hustlers. They want your job, John.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hey,
come
hey,
on,
hey,
John.
hey, you heard Shannon said it best. You're not a thug.
Yeah, why even pretend? You don't even have to be a thug. Thugs are thugs because they gotta be a thug.
They have to be. Thank you.
You don't have to be one, dude. You're a superstar. NBA, you're a basketball superstar.
Embrace it. Embrace it. Your
Embrace it.
job is your hobby.
Yeah, you don't even need to carry guns. You just hire bodyguards.
Bodyguards.
What?
And that's the part that gets me is that he's in a great place, and that's where sometimes you just need to change your surrounding. And I think that, he needs to evaluate some friendship because if he's in an environment where as though he has to be like that and has to feel that pressure to be like that, he needs to change his surroundings.
Yeah, dad. I mean, even the surroundings could be his dad. Because I mean, his dad be
Man,
wilding out on court side with Shannon Sharp, doing too much, man. Look, man, enjoy the game. Sit down, man. You ain't got to be back and forth with Shannon Sharp. Who is Shannon Sharp?
and not only that, Shannon Sharp look good, boy. That boy look like he can go down and take some snaps right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you was talking about that.
Shay Sharp.
I thought you was talking about that outfit he was wearing when he got
Oh
into it with
no,
Chopper.
no, no. Hey. I guarantee you that thing was a four. Hey, that thing was a 3X. Cause he looked like he was swole up top.
He was swole up top. Yeah, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I don't know what happened to legs, but
He skipped leg day.
he skipped
But
leg day. But but
Shay Sharp.
but I got questions about that jacket or sweater he was wearing. It was like, man,
Yeah.
what is that, man? It looked like a hand me down.
Hey, but if he'd have grabbed that and ripped that sweater off him, he'd have realized he got himself into some problems.
Yeah, yeah, man. I tell you, man, that was just way too much, way over the top. I'm concerned about John Moran and his dad.
I
It's
am
like,
too.
yo, you're doing too much, man. Just relax, focus on the game. And I mean, you can do a lot for that franchise in Memphis,
We,
man.
we we had a player like that. We had players that were great players,
Yeah,
superstars, and couldn't leave the street alone.
yeah,
Allen
that's true.
Iverson,
Allen, yeah,
Carmelo.
yeah.
Yeah, even Mad Jack said that he couldn't leave it. It cost
Mm.
him some money because he was a little bit too on the thuggish side. But Mad Jack was a real deal too. He still is.
Real
So
thug.
then he a real thug. So my bad. I don't want none of that smoke unless it come in the form of
Right,
cigar.
right, 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 right. But all right, man, let's look back at this Western Conference. So we got the Nuggets, we got the Kings, we got the
Mm,
Grizzlies, and then we have the Phoenix Suns, who are 10 games behind the Nuggets. I mean, can they make that up? And
why? Why would you want to? So
I,
here's the
I don't
thing.
think I think you
So
rest
here's
your
the thing.
players.
LeBron found out, and AD's gonna find out. You burning AD. You trying to put good gas in this tank? AD ain't ready to carry no whole team.
Mm,
And,
yeah,
and look, and they get fictitious numbers. I said he went hard on Memphis when they didn't have big man Adams out there.
yeah, yeah.
So I said, AD, you not that guy, and don't get confused with the inflated numbers because you're playing teams without their full superstars. But please understand, playoff time and the play-in game, everybody coming with their full
Yeah,
strength.
yeah. But I mean, can he last is the question.
No, he can't.
I
He
mean,
earned the name Street Clothes and Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass. I don't know if Mr. Glass can make it. So we will see. But I'm looking at the Suns and the Mavericks, right? They have their additions. Suns got KD, Mavs added Kyrie. Can they make it up? Can
No,
they make it up? Do they
no,
make it up?
no. They have deficiencies, and they can make it up, but it's going to cost you, and it's going to hurt you in the playoffs. And it's called one word: bench.
Mm,
In order to acquire the players that they acquired, they had to give up some depth and they
mm.
had to give up some skill positions where those guys that when the superstars went to the bench, I didn't give up leads.
Right. All right. That's what happened in Phoenix. They didn't give up leads because they had a good bench and they
They had
traded
a
away
good
all
bench.
those young players, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Phoenix is able to make that up, right?
Kevin Durant,
Because Kevin Durant's gonna have to take some games off. Now he may play through the playoffs, but this regular season,
he ain't gonna be able to play through the playoffs. And if he does, he's gonna have to play mad minutes.
yeah, yeah. Well,
You
but
got two guys out there splitting bottles of Geritol. You got him and Chris, and then you got young Booker. But and at the same time, I got it. They got a big center, but right now I don't think he's proven, and I don't think because if he was proven, you wouldn't have to go get Durant.
mm, yeah,
That
that's
that
true.
told me that told me that he was not ready, and that told me that the team does not believe in him. Because if the team believed in him,
Well,
I don't need Durant.
Well, I think they believe in him because they signed him to a big deal. They could have let him go, but I think it was an opportunity to add a great player like Durant. But it's risky. It's risky
Yes, yes.
because I don't know how much Durant has left in the tank.
Two
Being
years,
that, I mean,
two, three, two
he's gonna
years
play a
after this
while.
year.
He's gonna play. I think he got more than that. I mean,
No, no, no.
I'm
When I
talking
say
about
when
at
I
a
say
high level.
2 years after that, if they don't develop that bench, he's not going to be able to sustain that
Oh
wear
yeah,
and tear.
Yeah, I don't think he can carry a team like he used to anymore. And I
Mm,
think that Achilles injury that he had a couple of years back, and load management is going to take hold of him. And we're going
mm.
to get to that subject of load management because we all ended in a tie with our ideas for load management. Which I think is weak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna post it again and get the
Yeah, we're gonna
listeners
leave it
and
up there. We're gonna leave it up there because
uh
it's hard for people to find. I had to start forwarding it out to people
hmm
to know where to go to find it because YouTube doesn't alert users or listeners that we have a poll out there with our solution for load management.
Yeah, but you have to go into the special what's that
You got to go to communities.
community. You have to go to the
Community.
community tab and
Yeah.
actually pull it up, and from that point you'll start to see different polls. So hey,
Yeah.
when you go out there, listeners, hey, go to that poll and go ahead and vote me as being unanimous on this, so I can kill this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, no doubt. If you want the NBA to continue with load management and missing your favorite players when you pay $200 for a ticket to go see them, yeah, you vote for Don's solution, which is no solution. His solution is do nothing. Does that make any
No,
sense? No,
no,
we got a load management problem. Oh, okay, great. Let's do nothing. No, that if you want to continue this foolishness, vote for him. But if you want a solution, something that solves the load management problem, because load management wasn't a problem 20 years ago. It's become a problem because they extended the first round of the playoffs, because they added the foolishness of the play in game. Get rid of that foolishness, and I promise you the games will go back to the way they were back in the 90s and the early 2000s before they extended the playoffs and added the play in games.
but you can't do that because you can't shorten the lead. Because if you shorten the lead, if you shorten the amount of games,
You ain't
then you
shorting it.
shorten the check. Yes, you do. And not
You,
only that, you go back to allowing people to start tanking. And that was
the,
the reason why we brought in the play in because it stopped teams from
but,
tanking
but
because they sold hope.
But who cares if the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons tank? I don't care if they tank. Let them tank.
No, they don't tank. The thing that I said was that the top two, and we talked about the top three, but the top two teams should get buys
Why? They're getting
because
a
you
bye.
earned it. You
They're
earned it.
getting a bye. They're playing the worst team in your
No,
conference.
no,
That's a
no.
bye.
You get a buy and you make everybody else fight, and
No,
then that's the
no,
first round. Then the second
no,
round, you come talk to
no.
me.
You play the eight seed. Like the Milwaukee Bucks are gonna put Atlanta Hawks, play them in a 5 game series. They're gonna win those first 3 games and be done with them, and that's their bye. Enjoy it. It worked many a times before. Come on, man.
Mm-mm,
Remember when the Bulls would play the Milwaukee Bucks back in the day in the
mm-mm.
90s
I don't want
and
nobody to have a
sweep
shit. I want to have no, and not
and
only that,
sweep right through
you
them.
want them to one. You want them to put the number one seed to play the lesser
They
seed, and
will.
then you want to shorten the series. So that's a double negative.
No,
No,
it ain't no
Marv.
double neck. It
Yes, it
worked many a
is.
time. It worked
No,
many
it's
a
not.
time.
It's not.
And
I'm not.
and
I don't
and
want to
and that
give
and,
a
and I know
losing
y'all
team
brought
a
up the
fighting
point.
chance.
You brought up that no, the percentages of the eight seed beating the one seed is almost next to none. The times that has happened is because the one seed star player got hurt, like when the Bulls lost to the 76ers. Well, that was because Derrick Rose was hurt. So that's how the eight seed beat them. And then the other time was when the Golden State Warriors beat the Dallas Mavericks. Well, that was just they were just feeling good, and the Warriors beat them. So it doesn't
I
happen.
think that if you see, here's the thing. If you look at the statistics and it tells you why a team is number one, it's number one because their superstars are playing majority of the time. And the lesser teams are the teams that are plagued by injuries or decided to do load management. So I think the top two
That'd
teams
be great.
should be rewarded for playing the majority of your games by getting a first round bye.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm like we
We
we we
talking we
are
talking feelings,
we
Marv. It's tough facts.
we are
The
talking
fact
facts.
is, you
I'm
want you
telling
want more people.
you,
You want the superstars to play
you
more.
want you
So
want to
a
you
number
want to
one
implement
team.
something we never seen. That's never
That's
been
right.
done in the
That's
NBA.
right.
I'm telling
That's
you to go
right.
back to something we seen. We know it works, and we know we love it.
I'm talking about evolving. So yes, yes, you need to evolve, and you
We
need to keep the people
we
injected inside the game. So get rid of the play-in. Okay, I'll give you get rid of the play-in,
get
but
rid of that foolishness. Who
okay,
asked for that?
but in exchange for the get rid of the play-in, give the first and give the top two teams buys.
Okay, if you want to do that, get rid of the 7 and 8 seed. We don't need them. and
Marv,
just have six
you
teams.
can't shorten the season. You
I ain't say
can't.
shorten the season. I said
Yes,
get
you
rid of the
are.
C's.
No, you shorten the season
Get rid of those
for
C's.
people,
Get
and now
rid of
you're
since
encouraging
since
load management.
no. Get rid of those
Or my
C's.
fault, you're encouraging tanking.
I don't care. I keep telling you, I don't
I
care.
do.
If you
I
want to tank
do.
your franchise, you go
No,
ahead. That is your right. If you want to send your best player to a team
owners.
that's already succeeding, that is your right. Go
Give the
ahead and do
owners
it.
a chance, Marv, to put hot butts in seats
No,
because that
you
is the
have your
and
chance.
now
You
no.
have your chance. You got free agency. You got the draft. Stop crying. Stop trying to have somebody give you something. Stop looking for free lunch. Work. That's why you got a GM. That's his job. His or her job. Find good players. Stop looking for a free lunch. Come on, man. Let's wrap this thing up, man. You got me all upset over there. And to our listeners, man, make sure y'all go out, go to the community section, vote for our solution for the load management problem in the NBA because we know there is a problem with the NBA. These stars should be playing, but I believe there's too many games for them. But that's okay, man. Thanks for joining us. We do this thing every week. You make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week, man. This dude got me all fired up.
That's what I do.